Hey there, queens and kings. Are you tired of allowing the fear of failure or fear of the unknown paralyze you and stop you from pursuing your dreams? On the first part of Fighting Fear, I provided you with some fundamental, crucial information. I discussed the source of your fears and discussed why it feels so real to you. If you haven't watched it, you want to see that first. The link is below because now I'm going to train you on this proven 5-step combo on how you can fight fear. If you are tired of running from your fears and you're ready to fight back, spend just a few moments with me as I share with you 5 impactful steps on how you can fight fear. Are you ready to get in the ring? I'm Life Coach Vaughn, your Fighting Fear trainer, and this is my Mentoring Minutes. Before we start your training, don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. Also, remember your opponent from the first video? Well, I asked you to choose one thing you're fearful of pursuing. You'll need that soon. Be sure to drop what it is in the comments so I can help you fight it. Got your pen and paper ready? What about your boxing gear? All right, let's start the clock. Even though I'm highly advising you to watch the first part before moving forward, let's do a small recap for a quick warm-up. Remember, we've cleared up some misconceptions and now understand that fear is an emotion that's caused by our beliefs, that these beliefs can be internal or external influences, that our brain, more specifically that amygdala, is the mastermind and our bodies are merely responding to it. Also, we have the power to shape our beliefs. Mental reconditioning. On the previous video, we peeked at how the brain is conditioned. Now, let's do some mental reconditioning. But we're going to do that by using these 5 steps to fight fear. Our goal for this round is to annihilate your unhelpful current beliefs. We will counteract it by leveraging positive emotions that in return will cause a new belief. I know that was a lot, just go with me. Remember at the beginning, I asked you to think of something you're fearful of pursuing? During this training, that's gonna be your opponent. Hopefully, you've written it down so we can make this training as real as possible. And we want to invite that one thing to the ring. Step number 1, believe there's something better. Most of the emotions of fear we experience stems from uncertainty, aka thoughts of the future. We just don't know how things are going to turn out. So instead of imagining a positive outcome or narrative, we default to the negative one. What if I told you that this may not be our fault either? When we sense fear, some parts of our brain literally shut down. Can you guess which part? Okay, I'm not expecting you to know the technical term, but yes, it's the part that harnesses reasoning and judgment. That's why we're scared out of our minds during horror films when something abruptly happens. We ultimately know that it's just a movie and we aren't presently being chased by Jason, Freddy, or Hellraiser. But due to fear, it doesn't register that way. Your logic has exited the building. In this step, I'm challenging you to think of the benefits that will come with achieving or pursuing your opponent. It's apparent that you want to pursue it for some reason. Is it for more money so you can gain more freedom and maybe you want to help people? Is it for a peace of mind and tranquility? We're choosing to make a lot of hard decisions I had to make in my life, whether it was choosing to get married again, starting a new career, or even being here, exposing myself to the world. I had to move forward because I just knew that it was something much better than where I was. And if you've gotten this far in the training, I can only guess that you obviously don't like being afraid, backed up in the corner, or even on the ropes. The general said, we are telling ourselves a story. And if I may add to it, we might as well be telling one where we win at the end. You have to want to believe there's something better. Step number 2, Let's balance fact against fiction. Now, let's talk about your opponent. I want you to list one reason why you're fearful of it. And I don't know is an unacceptable response. If you need to spend additional time here, then do it. You may have to work with a friend, a coach, or a specialist to discover the answer to this. But knocking your opponent out without knowing and studying it makes it a more challenging task. For those of you that know your why, let's go ahead and move on. It's time to debunk your reasons. Here, you will find that most of your reasons for being fearful are not even supported by facts. Now, if you are an individual who says, my feelings matter more, and it doesn't matter if they are facts or not, well, I would just like to submit that your desire to overcome fear must surpass your desires to stay true to your emotions. As you know, our emotions don't always serve us properly. So here's how I apply this step of balancing fact against fiction. If you're doing this exercise alone, it will require you to do some shadow boxing, aka talking to yourself. Let's use one of my old fears as an example. I was terrified to ride over bridges.
Vaughn, why are you afraid of riding over bridges?
Um, I don't know. Ever since I can remember, I've always been afraid.
Come on, dig deep. Think about it. Why?
Maybe because I'm afraid that it will collapse or something will cause me to drive off the side and I'll drown.
Now, is that a fact that this will happen?
Well, it can happen and it has happened.
That's not what I asked. Is it a fact that when you drive over a bridge, it will collapse or something will cause you to drive off the side and drown?
No, it's not a fact.
Correct. It's not a fact. There are millions of people who drive over bridges safely every day. Good job. Way to talk it out.
Remember, fear is a negative and false narrative that we are telling ourselves. You're telling yourself, what if my business doesn't work? Is that fact that it won't work? No, you have already taken yourself out of the fight before it even started. Why won't you give yourself a chance? The benefit of this step is that it will introduce logic into the picture, causing the reasoning part of your brain not to shut down, thus slowing down the response that your body gives it when it's in fear. This is a part of reconditioning. Do some research if you must, but don't forget to balance fact against fiction. Moment of transparency. Using this exercise led me to discover that this fear was externally influenced. I knew at a young age that my maternal grandmother, that I had never met, passed away from being the passenger in a vehicle that drove off a bridge, and she ended up drowning. As I grew up, I never pieced together that this was why I had this fear. Unfortunately, I had to figure it out myself. But fortunate for you, you have me. I'm not saying this process will immediately snap you out of it, or maybe it will, but you must choose to be just as diligent on balancing the facts against fiction. Step 3, ban negative thoughts. So when I said that negative thinking is unhelpful, I meant it in more ways than one. A study found that a habit of prolonged negative thinking, it diminishes your brain's ability to think, form memories, and reason. This also over time is going to obviously affect your confidence and your self-esteem. Think of a time that you were initially afraid to do something, but you did it anyway, and the results turned out pretty good. Now keep that thought. No, literally keep that thought. You're going to need that to face your new opponent. Research states that for every negative thought you have, it will take 5 positive ones to counterbalance it. Having your accomplishments readily available to serve you in moments of fear or doubt, it will help you to ban negative thoughts. Now, here's a power pack mix-up combo you can use. Positive self-talk. Keep an accomplishment journal or jar. Celebration audio or video log. Affirmations are always a good choice. Express your gratitude for the things that you do have. Recite positive quotes. Avoid unhelpful descriptive words. Have a question about how you can leverage this combo? Drop it in the comments. Even if you have to repeat the same ones over and over, that'll work too. But sounds like someone needs to get their weight up. Step number 4, be okay with rejection. Experiencing fear has been strongly associated with being rejected. In the ebook, the link is in the bottom, there are pages that will help you reframe how you view rejection. Some of the most famous brands and people were rejected hundreds of times before getting a yes. Disney, Oprah, Bill Gates, Howard Schultz, y'all may know him as Mr. Starbucks, Michelle and Barack Obama, Rosa Parks. What if one of them had let rejection stop them? Here's a combo to use so that you can start reviewing rejection positively. To not overwhelm you, we will break this down in another training video. Rejection can be used as your direction, your protection, your projection, and your elevation. No one is exempt from rejection, but everyone has a choice on how they view and maneuver it. Step number 5, be prepared with a plan. Sometimes fear becomes a factor when there is poor planning or no plan at all. I would be an irresponsible trainer if I put you in the ring ill-prepared. Research supports that having a plan increases your chances of success by over 30%. When you have a solid plan, your brain expends less energy. Within this plan, include action items, deadlines, and accountability. Even now, I've helped you with a plan of attack. Do you feel a tad more confident or at least optimistic about facing your opponent? Great. My role is not to help you to become fearless, but it's to fear less. Please understand me that there are benefits of experiencing fear. Fear keeps us safe whether we have to fight or flight, but your power resides in being able to recognize fear as just an emotion. You have the choice as to how you're going to respond to it. Don't let fear back you up in the corner. And remember, stay off the ropes. These simple but power-packed action steps and combos are the ones that I use to give marriage a second chance, to start my own businesses, to purchase my house, to rebuild my credit, as well as to choose to be transparent about all the things that I had at one time deemed my failures. And glory to God, I am now in one of the best places of my life, mentally, spiritually, financially, emotionally, and above all else, fly. Okay, let's do a small recap before you jump into the ring. Step 1, believe there is something better. Step 2, balance fact against fiction. Step 3, ban negative thoughts. Step 4, be okay with rejection. Step 5, be prepared with a plan. Doing these steps over and over again will help you fight fear, which in return will build your confidence, your self-esteem. It'll help decrease stress and anxieties, worries, and fears. Over time, that opponent you keep running away from will not be as scary at all. Champ, I'm committed to helping you. As I'm learning more and more about the brain, it really helps me to understand the term fighting fear. As I learn more, I'm going to train you and we're going to win this thing together. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment. I am Life Coach Vaughn, your fighting fear trainer. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Stop the clock.